I need an adult. I need an adult. Are there any adults here? What? I'm actually making a video right now. That was part of the video. Yeah, that's okay. Huh? I didn't find any adults out there, and I don't know if you're an adult. Maybe you can help me, but I'm trying to find an adult here. But you see, I've come to this interesting conclusion, and no matter how hard I look, no matter how hard I try, I can't find any adults here in this world. There are none to be found. Isn't that kind of a weird thing, though? Like, we just seem to think that once we get to a certain age, we just suddenly have this upgrading of expertise and information that's downloaded into us that suddenly makes us an adult. Bruh, there are no adults in this world. There are just kids, and slightly bigger kids, and slightly bigger kids. And then the slightly bigger kids somehow shrink in size. And they become little bigger kids, so to speak, if that makes any sense. But there are no adults in this world. It's kind of funny where I work actually right now. If something goes wrong, we're always like, I need an adult, I need an adult. Even people who are older than me are like that, right? So this whole idea of going from baby to child, teenager to adult, where is the separation? What actually dictates what is what in this frame? Not only that, but it is quite evident that when we shift our brain from kid and child to adult, while yes, we need to assume responsibility, while yes, we need to, as I said, become more responsible for ourselves and other people around us if we have like a family, it's evidently that if we try to put our mind in strict adult mode, that we start to we short circuit, right? So what is it about being a kid that we need to keep? Is it that vitality, that young spirit, that young heroic spirit I talked about in a previous video? What is it that we really need to hold on to, right? I don't really consider myself an adult. I consider myself a growing kid. I'm going to be a kid for the rest of my life. But when you hear the word kid or child, we tend to think of this thing as immature. We tend to attach definitions and elements of novice. Don't know any better. Who are you kidding? Grow up, right? Every single person I have talked to, all of my friends, were all like, damn, why did I want to grow up? Besides, having the autonomy to go wherever you want to go, why did we want to grow up? I can't really find a reason. Because from what I have learned in my path, in my journey, and I hope that whatever I say can help you, no matter how much you take from it, is that we really need to actually sink ourselves back into our childhood selves, not only to heal ourselves from the emotional trauma that we might have suffered in our past, but also the things that intrigued us as a kid more than likely are the things that we are naturally really good at. And if we work at these things, then we can become successful in whatever that is, right? Just me. When I was a kid, what did I like to do? I loved writing. I loved drawing. I loved reading. I loved talking to people. I actually loved giving advice when I was a kid. I actually used to give my friends advice back in middle school. Never took my own advice, but I love to do that as well, right? I made a little magazine in 5th grade that I handed out on the last day of school, right? So I was a naturally creative person, and kids are very, very naturally creative, right? But what happens is that we grow up and then that stuff is beaten out of us. Instead, they're like, no, read this textbook, do this equation, sit down, shut up, and listen. What? Since when have humans ever listened and ever paid attention to the warning, caution, do not go past this line tape? But in many ways, we kind of do this to our kids, right? Now, for some things, obviously, it's necessary. Like, don't let your kids play in the street when the trucks and cars are going past because you don't want them to get crushed, right? But there are a lot of things that we sort of beat out of our kids, telling them to don't do this, don't go past this line, just stay in this institution, right? But how has that helped people to now? Because we have a lot of adults that haven't been able to heal the trauma that they've had from their childhood. And that trauma is oftentimes blocking a lot of the great things that happened in their childhood, right? So they grow up into these adults who are completely numb to the core. They don't know how to connect with people. They don't even know how to make friends. Because we're taught that you can't talk to strangers, right? But at the same time, how else are you supposed to connect with people, right? I mean, use discernment, obviously. But are there really any adults in this world? I haven't been able to see any adults. And honestly, when I get into states where I might get super anxious, when I get into states where I can see and feel my vibration going down, I oftentimes integrate myself into something that will bring it up. And oftentimes these things might seem as childish, such as watching cartoons. Like lately I've been watching Young Justice on Netflix. It's an awesome show. It's a show about superheroes. I mean, who wouldn't like that, right? Because in many ways, I think that we're all superheroes, right? I think that we all have that superhero, that superhuman capability. But in order to really have that, we really have to be able to expand our imagination, right? And kids have that expansive imagination. It's huge. It's wide. But a lot of people, their imagination has shrunk to this tiny little thing. And you can't even hear it because it's like a whisper. Get your imagination back and reintegrate your childhood self. Because once you do that, this life will open up and you'll be like a beautiful lotus flower. And you'll find the gold in this moment. For that is all that exists, right? It's kind of a nice little rambly video. Didn't really know where I was going to go with it, but hey, we're just having fun, right? We're just having fun in the moment because that's all that really matters, right? It's keeping ourselves lifted, keeping a smile, I can't English today, on our face, right? Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here before I continue this interesting ramble. I need an adult! Find the gold in this moment, for that is all that exists. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a booyah! I love you all. Peace.